Hey, what's going on everybody? Justin here, and in this video I thought I'd try and do another sort of nature walk type thing. I know it's been quite a while since I've done one, like probably 3 months or something. Of course, I pretty much didn't do anything for about almost 2 months, so there's also that. But yeah, I decided to do the Finally Fall book tag. The only problem is, for me where I live, almost all the leaves have fallen because of how windy it's been the past like 3 days. I don't know if you can hear the wind kind of in the background, which I'm sure you can. Yeah, I haven't bought a microphone yet for the GoPro, so it's probably really loud right now. But as you can see, a lot of my trees have already pretty much like lost their leaves, except for obviously the the evergreen ones and that sort of thing. But yeah, I thought I'd kind of do the Finally Fall book tag. And just because I like the questions, I saw this video by Kira the Scrivener. I'll leave her link down below. I wasn't able to find the original video. A lot of people had posted the link for the video, but it doesn't work anymore. Like, the creator took it down, and none of them had like put the name of the creator. So if I find out later on, I'll leave that link down below, or at least the name of the creator down below as well. But yeah, let's just get on with the questions as I try to make my way through like all this like overgrown, starting to die grass and everything. I do like fall, don't like it quite as much as summer and spring or winter. Well, so that pretty much makes it my least favorite. I think it's because like it means winter is like impending doom is like coming like where I live. But at least in like when it's like dead of winter, you can still do stuff like snowshoeing and skiing, snowboarding, all that stuff. Whereas in fall, it's just kind of like cold, just all the time. Like right now, I think it's about like 40 degrees right now. So it's not really cold, but you know, it's just kind of like uncomfortable just to like sit around doing nothing outside. I know a lot of places fall is probably nice after like a really hot summer and stuff. So anyways, let's just get on with the questions as I just sort of ramble on about pretty much nothing. All right. I got my questions on my phone, and obviously I don't have my books and stuff with me, but let's see. Question number 1. In fall, the air is crisp and clear. Name a book with a vivid setting. And kind of to go with like a fall-ish type book, I'm going with Ed McDonald's like Ravenmark trilogy. I've read the first 2, Blackwing and Ravencry, I believe, is the second one, and Crowfall is the third one, which I need to read. The reason I'm going with that one is it kind of reminds me of fall because it's so bleak. There's like the town, like the city-state of like Valengrad, which is kind of like on this border with this kind of just desolate place known as the Misery, which the only thing I can compare like the Misery to is if you guys know, I don't know, if any of you guys ever played games as a kid, Morrowind, the third book in like the third game in the Elder Scrolls series, kind of like the Blight, where it's just kind of like this barren wasteland where you get diseases and just it's just like kind of like blowing dust all over the place and stuff. That's pretty much what the Misery is, except it's almost kind of described almost like as like a nuclear wasteland type of thing kind of going on. But yeah, whenever I read those books, it's always just like drizzling rain outside, and everything is just like muted and gray, like monochrome and stuff, just whenever I'm reading it. So yeah, it's bleak, but it's a very vivid setting, and that's what I'm going with. All right, number 2. Nature is beautiful, but also dying. Name a book that is beautifully written, but also deals with a heavy topic like loss or grief. With this one, I'm going with Cy Montgomery's latest memoir, and it's How to Be a Good Creature. And I think the subtitle is, what is the subtitle? Like a case in 13 animals or something like that. Or How to Be a Good Creature, yeah, studying like 13 animals. And what she does is take different encounters with animals that she's had over the years, obviously 13 in particular, even though she does describe more as well. But yeah, she does deal with some pretty heavy topics, like for like trigger warning stuff. Can't remember exactly if self-harm is one, but I'm pretty sure I remember correctly suicide or like thoughts of suicide, that sort of thing, is one. And kind of just like having like a cold, distant relationship with the parents and everything, like that's part of it as well. And as you can see, there's like this giant tree that is down blocking my path, so we are gonna have to go around the other way. Really gotta get the chainsaw out and take care of that. But anyway, so yeah, it definitely deals with heavy topics, but I don't know. I think it's just really well written. Cy Montgomery's one of my favorite nature authors. She's also written Soul of an Octopus, which is held in really high regards as well. It wasn't particularly my like absolute favorite, but it was still really good. All right, let's see. Question number 3. Fall is back to school season. Share a nonfiction book that taught you something new. I read so much nonfiction. This one's like really hard to do. This month I've bought a bunch of reference books on like identifying trees and animals and plants and stuff in my kind of northeastern region of the United States. So I think that's pretty cool. So I'm going to go with the Audubon Society Field Guide to Trees of the East, I think is the full title. I think it's really cool. Just fun, like kind of identifying trees and being able to just kind of like go out here and just be able to point to like different things and tell you like which I don't know which tree is what and stuff. Like just for example, like we got the paper birch here. Obviously you can just tell that it's a birch tree because it's like kind of peeling a little bit, but it's paper birch because it's like super white. But there's also like 3 or 4 other birch trees in my region that I didn't know of. There's like black birch, for example, that's very similar, but it's obviously, you know, a little bit different, that sort of thing. Hopefully don't cause like motion sickness by wheeling the camera all over the place. I gotta get like used to doing that as well. But yeah, that's what I'm going for with a non-fiction book. All right, let's see. Question number 4. In order to keep warm, it's good to spend some time with people we love. Name a fictional family, household, or friend group that you'd like to be part of. And for this one, oh, I apologize for that. For a fictional one, I'm definitely going with the Gentleman Bastards, which primarily are Jean and Locke of the books by Scott Lynch, the Gentleman Bastards sequence. I just think, even though they're kind of like rogues and stuff, which are not really particularly my favorite things, characters kind of in fantasy, just kind of like the kind of, I don't know, unique like little brotherhood that they have going on. Just really cool. Obviously they're not really related, but kind of their way of being brought up together, and like all their different like skills and stuff that they trained with and worked on, and all the different things that they've done together like kind of over the years to accomplish things. They're just like super close, and no matter what, even like when one is acting, you know, stupid and foolish or whatever, the other one's there to like pick them up and, you know, help them get back on the right track and everything. I don't know, I just think it's just like a really good case of, you know, like you know, just like brotherhood. So that's kind of what I'm going with for a fictional family I'd like to be a part of. All right, as I stand in the mud. Question number 5. The colorful leaves are piling up on the ground. Show us a pile of fall-colored spines. Okay, I will superimpose that, like, you know, somewhere in here as I like just pan a little bit over kind of the fall. Like I said, there's literally no fall foliage like left. It's all on the ground. It's kind of sad. But anyways, I will superimpose that after I get back inside and take a photograph of one. All right, question number 6. Fall is the perfect time for some storytelling by the fireside. Share a book wherein someone is telling a story. I don't have too many books like that, I guess, but I thought an interesting one that I really like, some of the kind of books I really like are the Icelandic Sagas, which are kind of obviously written in medieval Iceland, like late medieval Iceland, but really it's almost like it's not epic poetry, and it's more like an event. They're more like adventure, like family histories and stuff, like adventure novels and stuff, but they were originally, you know, composed by like skalds and stuff, so it's meant to be sort of a story as you like listen to it. I think they're really cool. They're all different. There's like really short ones, there's fairly long ones. My favorite one is Egil's Saga, which deals with the story of Egil Skallagrimsson and pretty much all the adventures he went kind of, you know, around the North Sea and stuff. It's just really fun, and it's like listening to like a family story. You can like almost like, you know, think like there's like, you know, a skald or a bard or whatever by the fireplace, you know, kind of reciting kind of all these like family histories to you. So that's what I'm going with for that one. All right, number what are we at? Number 7. The nights are getting dark. Share a dark, creepy read. Yeah, this one was really hard. I had a hard time thinking of something for this one. I don't really read a lot of like horror. I don't read really any horror books. Even like a lot of the nonfiction read there's nothing really scary. It's more sad, if anything. But I'm gonna go with one of the only creepy things I've read, which is Gene Wolfe's Shadow of the Torturer, which is the first book in his Book of the is it Book of the New Sun series, I think. I've read the first one and the second one, which is The Claw of the Conciliator. But yeah, just from the name of the title, you know, Shadow of the Torturer, kind of like in a future desolate planet, and there's like a torturers guild, and the main character Severin gets exiled from it for being halfway nice to someone and letting them kind of commit suicide in their cell rather than be tortured by the torturers guild and stuff. But it's not like super like horror gory or anything like that, but it is kind of creepy in the sense that it's just so weird. Like the world is so weird and different, and kind of the stuff that's kind of going on is just really, I don't know, it's just bizarre, which makes it kind of creepy. And there's a lot of like kind of heavy dark undertones, and there's a lot of symbolism and a lot of metaphors and stuff that a lot of them are even over my head, and I'm just like rolling with it because it's like written, like the prose is so good, even though I don't know half of it means, kind of like with the symbolism and stuff. But yeah, it makes it for definitely a kind of like creepy read for sure. All right, number 8. The days are getting colder. Name a short, heartwarming read that could warm up somebody's cold and rainy day. I got an easy one for this one, and it's Rescued by Peter Zoitlin. I believe is how you pronounce the last name. And literally, this short book is all about this author who, like, I think he wrote like articles for magazines and journals and maybe a couple other books and stuff. And sort of how he adopted a rescue puppy from, I can't remember if it's from a shelter or just like kind of like a rescue home for pets or for dogs and everything. And he'd never owned a dog before, and he's, you know, like in his like late 40s or early 50s, something like that. And it's basically just the story of how they bonded and stuff over, he didn't, you know, at first he didn't want an animal, but his like, he kind of caved into his like wife's like demands, and he got a dog, and then he like fell in love with the dog, obviously. So I mean, that's about as heartwarming as it gets. It's so straightforward and so simple, but it's just so good. Like you guys have probably seen Daisy in a couple of my other like nature videos and stuff, and she's obviously well, I wouldn't say obviously, but she was a pound puppy. So I don't know, just that's a pretty easy, heartwarming read, in my opinion. It's definitely pretty short. I think it's only like 200 pages, and the font is halfway big. It's pretty big, so it's really not too bad of a read. All right, let's see, where are we at? Number 9, fall returns every year. Name an old favorite that you'd like to return to soon. For these ones, I don't really reread much. However, there are the Greek and like Latin classics. I definitely haven't, I've totally neglected since I've started book 2. So I definitely need to go back, reread some Homer. Either Homer or Polybius. Polybius being my favorite ancient historian. Polybius kind of deals with sort of the question of how Rome, the Roman Republic came to be so big and powerful and whatnot. Writing in the 2nd century BCE. So anyways, yeah, it's definitely got to go back to like some of the Greek and Latin texts for sure. That's definitely what I would be picking for that. Like I said, I just don't reread a lot of like novels or even like nonfiction. I really don't reread, but those I would make an exception for sure. Let's see, number 10, fall's the perfect time for cozy reading nights. Share your favorite cozy reading accessories. Unless you count well, actually, okay, I do use a Kindle like at night and stuff, obviously when it's dark and stuff, so I can like read, you know, in the dark without having to have a light and stuff. However, if I have a physical book, the only really accessory I use, like I don't drink coffee, don't drink tea, I don't curl up in blankets and stuff. The only real thing I use, I do have a book light that I really enjoy. Obviously, if I'm reading like a physical book, you know, you just put it on the back cover, and you know, it lights up. And it's not like super bright, so it tends to not wake everyone up if I'm reading next to people and everything. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. I know that was like super boring, but it's really good. It lasts like 20 hours on like, you know, an hour charge or something like that. So I don't know, it works for me. That's pretty much the only accessory I can think of. And as you can see, all the leaves are like all of them, they're like all gone. So yeah, I waited too long for like any fall foliage for you guys. So I do apologize for that. Alright, and number 11, spread the autumn appreciation and tag some people. Yeah, I cannot remember. I try to kind of spread the tags around, but it's been so long since I've done tags. I can't even remember who I've tagged in the past But anyway, so I'm gonna go with Justin at Ghost Reader. I love his content. Definitely go check. Pretty much all the people I mentioned, I like their stuff. So definitely go check them out. So we got Justin at Ghost Reader, Jenna at Bibliofilth, and Kara at Wild Book Garden. Those 3 people are the ones I'm gonna tag for this particular tag. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna start getting back into doing tags more often, I think. It's like, I don't know, it's like the one kind of video I always like kind of neglect to do. I always say I want to do them, and then, you know, I write the answers down and I just like never film them for pretty much no really good reason at all. But I think I'm going to start doing them more often. So I do apologize if you've tagged me in videos in the past and I haven't done them yet. There is a list somewhere of like probably 5 tags that I know people have actually tagged me in, that I've seen, and I've written them down. But yeah, if you want to see me do a tag, or if you want to tag me and do some, certain tag videos, leave some comments down below. Let me know that you did already and I just didn't acknowledge it or see it or whatever. Or even if not, just kind of what kind of tag videos you'd like me to see. So yeah, I'm just gonna pan out, leave you with some. Like, yeah, the path looks so nice, like right here at the end. I love how the entrance and the exit are like super nice, but you know, in the middle it's just like totally not. But as you can see, almost all the leaves have like fallen where I live. Definitely pretty leaves and everything, but you know, they've fallen off the trees and whatnot. But there you guys have it. That is the finally fall tag for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Tell me if you want me to keep doing nature walks. I do plan on doing them, even in the winter time, if you guys would like to see them. You know, doing snowshoeing, things like that. Kind of different scenery too. I don't know, I just think winter, in my opinion, I do like winter a little bit more than fall. Even though where I live it can get really, really cold for sure. But anyways, tell me if you guys like this video, if you like my answers. Tell me what you guys' some of your answers would be, or if you've done this tag as well. Leave some comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, you know, all that jazz. Check out my Instagram. I've been doing, I don't know, I've been finding I enjoy Instagram a lot more than Twitter, just because I overthink everything on Twitter pretty much. So I like just posting pictures on Instagram. You'll see a lot of nature pics and stuff, like pretty much what you're seeing right now. So if that's something you enjoy, definitely go check that out. I think that's it for me. I covered, yeah, I just like pretty much bombarded you with so many plugs at the end. You're just like, so anyways, whatever you're doing, go read something victoriously.